Hello viewers, 4DIYers here with another video for everyone. In this video here I'll be showing you how to replace the spark plugs on a second generation Honda Fit equipped with the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. A similar procedure can potentially be found on other Honda models with the same engine. Start by opening the hood. Worn spark plugs will cause a decrease in performance, poor fuel economy, hard starting, and throttle hesitation. Remove the two caps and the windshield wipers. We need to access the nuts underneath. Remove the two 14mm nuts holding down the wipers. Make note of the wiper positions. Now pull off the wiper arms. You may need to remove the tension of the blade on the windshield to help with the removal. If they're stuck in place, then you can use a wiper arm puller. Remove the corner trim pieces. They are a little tricky to remove and it takes some patience. They have one clip on the back side and also fit around the edge of the fender. Do the same for the opposite side. Remove the two plastic clips by the hood hinges, one on each side. A clip removal tool or side cutters can be used here. I'm using side cutters to gently pry up the clips. Here's a close-up of the other side. Pull up on the cowl panel. There are various clips on the back side. Take your time not to force it, it's only plastic. Once disconnected, maneuver it around the hood support and then place it in front of the engine bay. Here you can see those clips. You can disconnect the washer line, but it's not needed. Press the tang down and pull out the electrical connector for the wiper motor. Using a 3/8 drive ratchet and a mix between a 3-inch and 6-inch extensions, remove the 10mm bolts holding down the washer motor assembly. As you can see, there are 3 that are easily visible, then there is one behind the hood hinge. Then remove the windshield wiper motor assembly. Next is removing the steel cover. It's held on with a total of 7 10mm bolts. There will be 3 on this side. The 2 in the center holding on the bracket. And finally, 2 on the passenger side. Starting with the first spark plug, remove the electrical connector on the coil by pressing the tang and pulling straight off. Remove the 10mm bolt holding on the coil. Remove the coil. Remove a spark plug. It requires a 5/8 deep socket with a spark plug rubber insert, a 6-inch extension, and a 3/8 drive ratchet. Compare the old and new spark plugs to ensure they are the same. Install the new spark plug, do not drop it into the hole, and start it by hand. Then tighten. The torque specifications for the spark plugs is 20 foot-pounds. Honda does recommend using an anti-seize on the threads, but these engines also have a problem with ejecting the spark plugs, so I didn't use any. Moving on to the second spark plug, again is removing that connector. I went ahead and disconnected the electrical connectors for the other coils. Remove the 10mm bolt for the coil. Now remove that coil. Then remove the 2 other coils. I lined everything up on the table so each of the coils went back in the same spot. Remove the spark plugs. The 2 middle spark plugs were only hand tight, so they were slowly making their way out. Honda did originally list a much lower torque specifications for these spark plugs until they discovered they had a problem. If a spark plug does loosen, this can push hot exhaust gases out and move the spark plug up and down, potentially causing damage to the threads. If a spark plug does eject from the engine, this will damage some of the threads by ripping them out. Install the new spark plugs. Again, the torque specifications is 20 foot-pounds. Make sure no debris falls in these holes. I'm using my Teslong NTS 700 bore scope to help see what I'm doing and providing these extra camera angles. A link to this bore scope will be included in the video description. Reinstall those coil packs. They simply sit in each of the holes. Also plug in the electrical connectors for each of the coils. The length of these is very specific, so you can't mix them up. Install those 10mm bolts holding on the coils. The steel panel can now be reinstalled along with its 10mm bolts. Make sure all those bolts are installed first before tightening the panel down. Install the wiper motor assembly. I clipped the electrical connector in first, then installed all the bolts and tightened it down. Install the plastic panel in front of the windshield. Make sure you align those clips before locking it into place. The small trim piece on the sides by the fenders are then installed. Install the two clips, one on each side. Put the wiper arms in place. Make sure they are seated and locked into place before installing those nuts. Also make sure they are in the correct position. Finally tighten those nuts and install the caps. Now you're officially done. New videos are released every week on my channel. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It's a huge help to me, and leave a comment below if you found this tutorial helpful. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to also hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.